Timmy is out at a party and he sees a girl that he wants to go and talk to. Timmy starts overthinking. Oh, what if she rejects me? Oh, it's not just the perfect moment. Oh, it's gonna be embarrassing. I'll do it later. But Timmy never speaks to her. Later that night, as he's laying down in bed, the negative thoughts start creeping in. What if I would have done it? Oh, I can't believe I missed my chance. Alexander spots the girl that he wants to go and talk to. Instead of thinking about it for 2 hours like Timmy, Alexander immediately approaches her. But guess what? Alexander also gets rejected. But Alexander understands that rejection is part of the process, so he does not quit on himself. He goes and approaches another girl, and guess what? He gets her number. A week later, Alexander is out on a date. And Timmy, he's still sat in the club thinking about approaching that girl. So how can you be more like Alexander and not like Timmy? That's what we are going to cover in this video. Step number 1, when you go out, focus on having a good time. Back when I was in a fraternity in college, all the time I'd be getting ready to go out to parties with my friends, and they would all be talking about how, oh yeah, guys, oh yeah, I'm gonna go approach a girl tonight. Oh yeah, tonight I'm gonna go talk to that girl. But the funny thing is, these guys who did all the talking, who talked all about how they were gonna go do this, were never actually the guys that were confident and went and did it. The guys who were actually successful were the ones who just went out to go have fun. Because think about how these two different types of guys are gonna be behaving. The guy who is obsessed with going out and talking to a girl, he's gonna be sat there the whole time awkwardly thinking about it or looking at her and just being super weird. Whereas the guy who just focused on having a good time, he's out, he's having fun, and if he goes and talks to a girl, that's great. But if not, his focus is not on going and talking to girls. It's just on having a good time with his friends. So the mindset I want you to have is that when you go out, your focus is not on like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go approach girls, I'm gonna go talk to girls. No, that's really weird. Don't make that the focus. Just make the focus to go out and have a good time. And that will naturally make you more confident and make it more likely you'll actually go and talk to the girl. So it's funny. The less you focus on going and talking to the girl and the more you focus on having a good time, the more likely you are to actually see success. Now, how do you tell if she's interested? Well, step number 2, you have to understand what's called choosing signals. Now, most of the time, like 90% of the time, a girl is not going to directly approach you. Yeah, it's happened to me a couple times, but those instances are very rare. Because as a man, it's up to you to be the one who takes the lead and pursues. But what will happen is a girl will give you hints. So what are some examples of this? Well, let's say you're out at a party and one girl always ends up like being right next to you. Or you're out hanging out and you keep catching one girl looking over at you all the time. That is her way of saying, hey dumbass, I want you to come up and approach me. And a lot of guys will complain, oh, why can't girls approach me? Oh, why does it always have to be on the guy? But that's what masculinity is. Masculinity is about taking the lead. It's about being the guy who goes for what he wants. And you can sit here and complain about how, oh yeah, life is so hard as a man and having to be a leader is so hard. Or you can just be a fucking man and go and talk to her and not complain about it. And also, I want you to understand, if you make eye contact with a girl, that is your sign to go and approach her. What makes things super awkward is when you keep making eye contact with the same girl over and over and over again, but not talking to her. So that is a sign that, bro, go and talk to her. And the longer you wait, the more awkward it makes it. The more she starts to think that like, oh yeah, this guy is just kind of weak and indecisive. And also the more you start to overthink, which makes you behave more awkwardly when you go and talk to her. So the quicker you do it, the more likely you are to see success. Now, just because a girl looks at you, does that mean that she's into you? No, of course not. There will be a lot of girls who will look at you but not be into you. But if it keeps happening, that's a sign that she might be into you, and you might as well take the opportunity and try to go talk to her. Now, step number 3, what I want you to understand is it's always better to get rejected fast than to wait and think about it. Now, obviously, when you go and talk to her, I hope it goes well. And if you're confident, there's a good chance that it will. But what holds so many young men back in their dating lives is the fear of rejection. They're always so worried about, oh, what if this girl doesn't like me back? Oh, what if she's not into me? So what ends up happening is they'll talk to a girl or they'll keep thinking about a girl for weeks, sometimes even for months before they'll go and approach her. But then when they go and approach her and get rejected, it hurts a lot worse. So what should you do instead? Well, realize that the faster you get rejected, the better. Now, why is that? Because of course rejection hurts, but at the end of the day, it's going to hurt a lot more when you get emotionally invested and you wait to go talk to her compared to when you just do it quickly. Because why would you get emotionally invested into a girl before you even gone and spoken to her? That doesn't make any sense. You should only get emotionally invested into a girl once you've gone out with her a couple times and she's earned it from you. So, what I want you to get from that whole kind of spiel is that when you see a girl that you want to go talk to, it's always better to get rejected quickly. Because if you get rejected quickly, you can just move on and go talk to somebody else. Whereas the guy who waits to go and talk to her, who thinks about it for 2 months and then finally approaches her, he wastes so much time thinking about doing it and obsessing over the girl when he could have just moved on. And also, what you got to understand is the more you get rejected, the better you will be at talking to girls. Because you got to realize that it's a skill that you have to level up. But the guy who runs away from rejection, who doesn't ever go and talk to a girl, he never improves the skill and never gets better at it. I want you to understand that getting rejected is not failure. So many guys see rejection as failure, but that's just not the truth. If you go up to a girl, you talk to her, you get rejected, yeah, the interaction might not have gone the way that you wanted it to, but you're at least practicing. You're at least getting better. But rejection is not failure. The only way you fail as a man when you see a girl that you want to go talk to is if you don't even try. If you don't even put any effort into doing it. That is a failure. So what I want you to get from that is don't view rejection as failure. View rejection as a necessary thing you're going to have to go through on the journey to getting a girlfriend. Now, step number 4, what should you say? The go-to thing that I used to see so many guys do that was just so cringe is they would walk up to a girl like at a club or at a party and they'd go, oh yeah, let me buy you a drink. But bro, I think that's so cringe. And here's why. When you tell a girl that you want to buy something for her right off the bat, what is that saying? That's saying that, hey, I'm not a great person. I'm not valuable. So I'm going to try to win you over with my money. I'm going to try to buy you something and, oh yeah, then maybe you'll be into me. Do you think a guy who views himself as valuable is going to do that? No. He's going to lead with his personality. He's going to go and talk to her, and because he doesn't have to lead with his money to get her to like him back. Now, if you end up talking to her for a bit and you want to buy her a drink, right, there's nothing wrong with that. It just shouldn't be something that you lead with. That's where a lot of guys mess up. So instead of offering to buy her something right away, just break the ice and have a genuine conversation. Yeah, it might be cringe asking like basic ass questions, but you just got to break the ice. So just go and say to her whatever is on your mind. If you think she's attractive, just tell her that you think she's attractive. So many guys will try to, oh yeah, I'm worried about getting rejected, so I'm just going to play it safe. But I'll tell you, the guys I know in my own personal life who are successful with dating, who have seen a lot of success, are the guys who just speak their mind. If they think a girl is attractive, they just tell her that. If they want to get her number, they just ask for her number. They don't pretend to be her friend and be all, complacent. No, they go for what they want because that shows confidence. That will always get you so much further than sitting behind a mask and trying to be someone that you're not and being all complacent. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell you like the exact thing to say because I think that's really cringe when people make videos on like, oh yeah, here are the top 7 things to say when you approach a girl. Like, no, just be yourself. Just say what's on your mind. Be authentic. And if you do that, you'll be much more likely to have success than the guy who's inauthentic and overthinks every little thing. So anyways, to end this video off, a quote that I've always loved from one of my favorite YouTubers, Corey Wayne, is that repetition is the mother of success. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, you got to understand that with dating, just like everything else, you have to get practice to get good at it. You have to go and approach girls to get good at approaching girls. Think about it this way. Imagine if Steph Curry showed up to the basketball court for the first time ever and like missed his first few shots and then said, oh yeah, I'm going to quit basketball because I'm not very good. What would you say? You'd be like, well, that's stupid. Like, you just haven't practiced enough. So then why do you go approach one girl, get rejected, and then beat yourself up because you're not good at it? That doesn't make any sense. So you have to realize that the only way you can get good at anything in life is by practicing, by failing. So don't let your failures get yourself down. Don't beat yourself up all the time. And just view your failures as a learning step to getting better. View yourself as someone that's on their journey. You don't have to be perfect right now. You don't have to be exactly where you want to be. You just have to be trying to get better and trying to level up and get to where you eventually want to be. So Get practice and don't be scared of failure. And if you would like my help along your journey, the link to my paid program will be the top link in the description. In there, I help guys with becoming more attractive, getting a girlfriend, maintaining a relationship, basically everything that you would want to know if this type of video is something that you're struggling with. So go check that out. You'll thank me later. I'll see you for the next video, bro.